Welcome! I'm so glad you're joining me. For those of you who are just starting, the Orca Swim Show is a weekly show where I bring both information about how the brain works when embarking on change, especially something that is fearful, and we take it to the lab of the swimming pool. After 30 years of teaching in the pool, it's time to hop out of the water and share how the learning works in and out of the water in the same way. The water is a perfect lab to test the learning process because you get fast and immediate feedback along with very satisfying rewards when you focus on the needs of the brain-body connection and not just a list of skills. Then you can obtain lasting and satisfying results. Our pool is a warm 92. Let's hop in and go from regret and missing out to action and freedom.
Hi, Born Swimmers. Just an extra introduction to this particular video. I'm really excited about this one. We are getting ready to launch our snorkeling course. So I recorded this. I'm here with double sweaters on, doing this in the cold of winter. As I know, I just asked somebody to watch our dog for us, and she said, sorry, I can't. I'm leaving for Hawaii. So many of us are going to warm tropical places this time of year. And so this is why we're coming out with our snorkeling course at this time. But we wanted to get you started, give you a sneak peek. This is just one little segment that's going into the whole course, and I'm giving you to you today. So if you're one of these people who are going to Hawaii next week and we haven't launched a full course, at least you'll get this bit. I'm teaching about how the snorkel, the actual snorkel part works. I don't have the whole combination with the mask and the fins and everything that's going to go into the course about how to find a good place to snorkel and safety tips and all these other things. It's a full-fledged course that we're putting together for you that you could take, download, take it on the airplane with you, or do it in your hotel or condo, and take it as part of your vacation. So here's a little snippet. Learn about some of these details that you might not know about with the actual snorkel itself and some breathing. Have fun with it. Let us know if this answers your questions or what other questions you have. Put them in the comments here on the YouTube page, or put them over on our Facebook page, wherever is convenient for you, so we can make sure to include your comments and questions and thoughts in the full course. And if you download any of our tips or anything from us, you'll be on our email list. So then we'll make sure to let you know when the full course launches. All right, enjoy this. All right, let's get started. We are here at the pool and we've got some snorkels to play with. I brought out a couple different kinds because depending on where you go and age of the equipment, they're going to be different. But there are some universal things about them, so I'm going to just show you on both of these. I'm going to start with this one. It's a little bit more modern. So this part here, this is the mouth part. This is the part that's going to go in your mouth. This whole thing is going to go in your mouth. And then we have the tube. This is the air tube that the air comes in. And the top of the tube, that's the part that's going to be sticking out of the water for most all of your snorkeling experience. So the air can go in and out. There are, on this particular type, there are two valves. And this big thing up here is a valve. And how this works is that if the tube was to go under the water, this valve would float up and it would close the hole with the idea that it would block the water to prevent it from coming in. The second valve is down on the end by the mouthpiece. And this is, there's just a small plastic piece in there, and it stays over this hole, but it's flexible and soft. So if you had water in the snorkel, it would drain out relatively easy. As you can see the water coming out when I put it under and the water comes out of that hole, but it prevents the water from going in. So if you had gone under the water and some water did come into your tube before the valve shut off, there is a second way for the water to come out of the tube. And we'll talk more about that later on how you have that happen. The other thing on the snorkel tube is there'll be a clip somewhere on it, and this is how it attaches to your mask. So there's a clip on there. So when you look at your snorkel from the side, particularly when you're looking at the mouthpiece, some of the snorkels will have the mouthpiece at an angle. This one is angling in this direction. This lets me know this is the direction that it's going to go into my mouth. So on this one, the snorkel goes off to this side. Some of them it's the other direction, and some of it is just straight up and down. Let's take a look at this one. Yeah. So for this one really doesn't have an angle, so it isn't as important which direction in terms of the mouthpiece. So you can also practice breathing, feeling what it feels like to breathe through your mouth, feeling what it feels like to breathe through a tube. These are all unusual things. These are things you don't do in your day-to-day life. Now, when you just put the snorkel in your mouth and you start breathing, it is likely that you might be breathing through your mouth and nose, especially if you're a regular nose breather. So the way that you can get the sensation and the understanding of breathing through your mouth is simply to block your nose. Put the snorkel in your mouth, block your nose on purpose, and just feel your breathing. Take your time, just experience it, be there for it. When you're ready to take it to the water, and again, this could be, you could start in your bathtub at your hotel or at home or wherever you're at, or you can come down to the pool and check it out at the pool. I like to start with one piece of equipment at a time. So you could come in with just the snorkel and do just like I did with plugging your nose. Now, a lot of our students who have come to learn to swim with us, they are in the practice of using nose clips for some new things. And so if you're familiar with using a nose clip and you're comfortable with that, by all means use a nose clip, then you have your hand free. But if you're not already comfortable with that or familiar with that, you can just go ahead and start with covering your nose, because when we get to the mask, that is going to block your nose. So I could pinch my nose off, take a breath, and gently put my face in the water and check out that experience. All right, so once you've spent some time, and give yourself loads of time just to feel what it feels like to have your face in the water while breathing. For some people, this may be really weird. If you are a lap swimmer, let's say, if you're somebody who swims regularly, I know for me, when I first started snorkeling, it was very weird to breathe underwater. I didn't like breathing through the tube. It felt constricted and didn't feel like I was getting air, and I kept thinking, all I have to do is turn my head and air is right there. It was kind of weird. And if you're somebody who's new to swimming and you haven't spent much time with your face in the water, that's a whole thing too. Of just feeling like, what is it like to be in this new environment with all these new sensations on your face? So give yourself plenty of time with your nose gently blocked, sitting in one place so you know you're not drifting around or going anywhere, that you can just experience breathing underwater. It's kind of phenomenal. So the other thing that we can practice with just the snorkel
is how to get the water out of the snorkel. So I had shown you that there's this valve on the bottom here that the water drains out of. And you can see it draining out every time that I bring it up like this. And it will always drain out when you bring the snorkel out of the water. But when the snorkel is underwater and the water has filled up the snorkel, it's not going to drain out. It's just going to sit there. You actually have to do something to make it go out. And the thing that we do is we blow forcefully out, or into the snorkel itself, so it pushes the water out. Now you could blow real gentle and it probably wouldn't make it come out. Maybe it'd make some of it come out. But it's kind of a quick, forceful blow. You're giving a blow into it. And depending on how much water you have in the snorkel and how much blowing you're doing, you're going to be pushing the water out of the valve at the bottom. You could also be pushing it out of the valve at the top. This is the way that we clear, it's called clearing the snorkel of the water while you're in the water. It's also a really good idea to practice this on purpose so you get a sense of what is it like to have the water in the snorkel that is in my mouth. To have a sense of that feeling. Oh, okay. You might have a sense that says, I don't like this, or I don't want this water here, or whatever. You might just start with just going under and putting your mouth in there and just feeling that and being quiet with it for a little while and realize that it is just your thoughts that are saying that this is a problem. It doesn't change how much air you have in your lungs. It's not an emergency. These are all thoughts that might come up, but they aren't actually true. They're just thoughts. So you want to just gently be aware of them and notice, oh yeah, this is what I'm thinking about. But let's slow down and check in with the feeling. My air hasn't changed. I can still be present and calm and just experience it. So you can do it one of two ways. You can dip it under like I am and then put my face in to put my mouth around the snorkel, or I can dip it under a little bit and put my mouth in there because there is still water down in here. If you do it up here, well, it works, but the water's draining out very quickly too. So you're not going to get as much experience with the water, but just take however much is fun for you. So if I go like this, and I'm going to put my mouth in, and because I don't have anything blocking my nose, I'm going to plug my nose again. Once I'm underwater, I'm going to do that forceful blow. And you might see some water come out of the top, or you might just hear a noise. Let's see. Oh, I must have had some come out of the top. I felt it hit me on the back. So it was a short, forceful blow. I'll show that again. Now, what's really important to know about that is you can see the water squirt out the top, and there was some water that came out the bottom. Bubbles, you saw it in the way of bubbles, my air came out the bottom. Is you may or may not get all of the water out with that blow. You will get enough of the water out so that you could take another breath in. But it takes a little bit of slowness inside to be able to breathe in gently. We don't want to blow forcefully out and then suck in a quick, fast breath because there may be some water left in the snorkel. And if we breathe in too quickly, you'll take that water in too. And not only will you take it in your mouth, but you might breathe it back in, such as going to make you cough. So after the blow, just have a pause for a moment, then slowly draw in some air. So you're checking, oh yeah, I can pull in some air through the tube, and there's some water left. If there's water left, that's fine. Once you've drawn in that breath, you can then give another blow to clear more of it out. I'll put more water in this time, so if I just get minimal. that time I had so much water in there that I squirted it out the first time, and when I breathed in slowly, perhaps you could hear it, it was bubbling and gurgling. That's because there was water left in my snorkel. I could still breathe in. It was still not an emergency. I could just take the time to replenish my lungs so I had that air to push out again. And then I was able to breathe normally. Now, the other thing I want you to practice doing, and we're going to practice this with the mask too, but I want you to practice being under the water, breathing, going along, happily experimenting with your snorkel. And I want you to practice spitting the snorkel out, getting rid of it on purpose. Because while I showed you how to clear it, there could be a time where you just don't want it anymore. And the tendency is there's water in my snorkel and I'm worried about things and we're getting really overwhelmed. There's nothing that says you have to keep the snorkel in your mouth. You could get rid of the snorkel and breathe and swim however it is that you regularly do. But I want you to have a chance while you're feeling calm and quiet to say, oh yeah, it is okay. This is something I could do. To go from breathing with the snorkel to taking a breath in and spitting it out and being done with it. And continue to swim or have my face in the water and come up whatever way it is that you regularly come up. And it's just like my normal swimming.
Thanks for watching. Like I said, new courses coming up. Ask those questions in the comments. Let us know how this is working for you. Jump on over to the website. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for listening. Are you ready to take some action? 3 ways to the freeway. Subscribe, join a free webinar, get started online where we break down the steps, making them simple, and we support you along the journey. So maybe you'll join us in Hawaii. Jump on over to orcaswimschool.com.